Well, it is 5:35. Now to the border between the U.S. and Mexico. The migrant crisis there has become one of the primary issues in the run for the White House.
Later today, President Biden and former President Trump will travel to South Texas for a closer look at the situation while trying to convince voters they have answers for the problems there. Jay Gray is live in the border community of Brownsville with details. Jay, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Good morning, Maureen. President Biden will be here in Brownsville. Former President Trump just up the Rio Grande and Eagle Pass. You may hear the leaf blowers just behind us here, getting things prepared for the presidential visit, I guess. Look, this part of Texas is really a crossroads, literally between Mexico and the U.S., and many now say politically between a win or loss come November. This rusted 12-foot metal fence stretches for miles, in some areas augmented with winding razor wire.
It adds that extra level of barrier to prevent people from coming in, and that's what this mission is.
If that is the mission, it's clearly far from accomplished here. Thousands continue to cross the Rio Grande illegally, at times tens of thousands crowding legal crossings, trying to force their way into the U.S. For the second time since being elected, President Biden travels to the region today. He'll meet with Border Patrol agents and local leaders in Brownsville, Texas, looking to ramp up pressure on congressional Republicans to consider a bipartisan border security measure. And he'll have some company.
I've been planning to go Thursday. What I didn't know is my good friend apparently is gone.
Former President Trump also making a stop along the border today, about 300 miles away in Eagle Pass. Overnight, releasing this campaign video on social media, tying what he calls President Biden's open border policies to the recent death of Laken Riley, a nursing student in Georgia.
A Biden migrant has been charged with brutally attacking her, beating her, kidnapping her, and murdering her.
There are a couple of things the two men do seem to agree on. Both say there's clearly a crisis along the border and that the other party is responsible for those problems. And of course, it's likely no coincidence the visits come less than a week ahead of Super Tuesday primaries here in Texas, Dave, and across the country.
Yeah, great point. Now, Jay, what do you hear from the people on the ground in South Texas about all of this?
Yeah, Dave, look, like a lot of the country, they are split, and there's a lot of confusion and frustration over what have been lingering and growing problems along the border in their communities. Most do say they're glad that the men are making the visit, that it'll bring some attention to the area, but they're also quick to point out, unfortunately, they don't think it will make any difference in the crisis.
All right. Jay Gray, excellent information for us this morning. Thank you.